We begin with two breaking news stories tonight happening right now. The first, a huge fire at a northwest side apartment complex. Take a look at these flames shooting from the top of an apartment complex. This is along Vance Jackson Road, not too far from Fredericksburg Road. These are the flames from earlier. You can see that through the windows while they're trying to knock that fire down. We got that video of the massive flames coming out of the roof and the windows. Now let's head to our live shot. This is a live look at what the scene looks like right now. Much better view, of course, but they have been still trying to knock down that fire. We are keeping an eye on this live shot, our photographer down there, and we've seen it kind of spark back up, and now it's looking like it's out. So crews, clearly a bunch of them on scene, a lot of people watching to see what happens with this. We are still trying to get information. Once the crews do get a second to chat with us, we will check in with them. This that you're looking at is a viewer video. A viewer from KSAT sent this into KSAT Connect. Look at this video from overhead. You can see how large that area is that the flames are coming from. This is not just one part of the roof. That is pretty much the entire roof that's on fire. So again, we are waiting to get information on how this happened, making sure hopefully everyone is okay. And we will update you on air and on KSAT.com. So stay tuned for that. We are also at the scene of a deadly shooting on the northeast side. This is at a Taco Cabana off Rittiman and I-35. Zaria Oates is at the scene right now. And Zaria, we know you just heard from San Antonio police about 45 minutes ago. What'd they have to say?
Hey, Courtney. Yeah, we're just off of Interstate 35 and Rittiman Road at this Taco Cabana. San Antonio Police Department responded to this scene about an hour and a half ago at this point. There was a victim who was shot at several times by a suspect. The victim was shot in both the abdomen and the neck area, both multiple times. And while EMS and SAPD did arrive on the scene, that victim did later die from his injuries. We don't currently have an identity on that victim, but we are still working to learn more information. We also don't have an identity on the suspect right now. SAPD does not have a suspect in custody. They also don't have a gun recovered from this scene. However, SAPD does say that no one in the area should be alarmed. You are safe to come out of your home if you do live in this northeast side area. But again, they do not have a suspect in custody and they don't have a gun recovered from this scene. SAPD is also still working to get video surveillance from this Taco Cabana. They say that they have to go through a corporate process to even get the video from here. So as we learn more about the video they're able to obtain here and any information on the suspect and the victim, we'll bring it to you on KSAT.com. Live on the northeast side, Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
Lots of questions still. Thank you so much, Zaria. All right, do you recognize this driver? Look at your screen right now. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office sent us this surveillance video tonight of a man suspected of trying to approach two young children walking to school this past Thursday on Coal Mine Rise in far west Bexar County. This is near Grossenbacher and Petrenko Roads. BCSO says they received a call about a prowler driving a black or dark colored Mercedes-Benz GLA or GLC sedan. The man called out to one of the children, but luckily that child recognized the danger and ran to the safety of a neighbor. If you know anything about this so-called prowler or recognize this vehicle, you're asked to call 210-335-6000, or you can email bcsotips@bear.org. We have all of this information on KSAT.com, as well as some safety tips for parents from BCSO, so you can check that out. 14, 17, and 16 years old. Those are the ages of three Brackenridge High School boys who performed first aid for a school resource officer last night. The officer accidentally shot himself in the leg and was airlifted to a hospital after those boys helped him. The night team Zaria Oates sat down with the three students to talk about their quick thinking in a scary situation.
At the moment, I felt like terrified, adrenaline rush.
A Marble Falls school resource officer accidentally discharged his weapon before a Friday night football game.
We asked if he was okay, and he was like, "Oh no, my gun went off, I'm shot."
Several Brackenridge High School junior ROTC students in the area say they jumped into action, helping put a tourniquet on the officer's leg.
But he was doing the tying. I was trying to go help him tying it with him because the tighter is the better.
I grabbed it and put my arm around him. He put his arm around me. I pulled it and he was like, "Dial 911." and I dialed it, and he said dispatch. He said some code to them.
The boys tell me the tourniquet worked quickly, and after a 1.5-minute call to 911, first responders were on the way. The officer was then taken to a hospital by helicopter.
What do you want to happen from here?
I feel like basic first aid should be taught for like anyone like from middle school to high school range.
While it was a scary incident, the boys say they hope the officer and his family are doing okay. Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
Well, from one scare at a high school football game to another, the quarterback for Uvalde High School is still recovering this evening after taking a hard hit during last night's game against Crystal City. But we are happy to report junior Jet Flores was allowed to go home tonight. Yesterday, he was hit hard by a Crystal City linebacker during a play towards the end of the second quarter. He lost consciousness and had to be airlifted to the hospital. His family said when he woke up, he had a severe headache, no memory of the injury, and no movement in his lower extremities and little movement in his upper body. Now, since then, his parents have posted updates on Facebook saying he slowly started regaining those functions and is doing okay. A CT scan also revealed no evidence of brain bleeding and no spinal fracture. So that is great news. We'll keep you updated and, of course, wishing him a speedy recovery. Other top stories tonight. We're waiting to learn more about an argument that turned into a deadly shooting overnight. It happened just after 2 a.m. on Blanco Road near West Mariposa, north of downtown. Police say two men got into an argument at a business in that area. Witnesses told them the suspect went to his vehicle and came back with a gun and shot the other man multiple times. He was taken to the hospital but later died from his injuries. Officers are still looking for the suspect in the case. New on the Nightbeat, protecting children who have been abused. That's the mission of one nonprofit right here in San Antonio, made up of motorcycle riders. The night team's Devin Karp went to their annual fundraiser today to see how they say any of us can help.
When a child calls, we ride.
That's something you'll hear from any of these bikers who are wearing the Guardians of the Children leather cut vest.
We are a nonprofit here in San Antonio with the focus of really helping kids who have faced abuse.
They volunteer their time to accompany children into the courtroom throughout their case, something they say can last years.
So I always encourage them, hey, we're your cheerleader, you're not alone in this. And the reason why we do this is so the kids can see that they're not alone.
The Guardians say that in 2020, the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services ranked Bexar County as the third worst county in Texas for child abuse.
It's very powerful when you're in the courtroom and you're listening. It's hard not to be emotional about it, but we stay very stoic, and just having them look at us and tell their testimony is like the most greatest feeling in the world.
Children then get to become a part of the Guardians family, picking out their own biker name, leather cut vest, and learning to trust the adults around them.
It's really trying to take them from victim to victor and let them be a kid again.
Besides helping kids, the group wants to make sure that everyone is aware of the signs of abuse and say the worst thing you can do is stay silent.
So that's our main card. See something, do something. And on the back, it's got the 8 steps of what you can do if you suspect a kid's being abused.
I'm Devin Carr, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, so you heard the president of the Guardians of the Children organization mention 8 steps to follow if you suspect a child's being abused. Here they are. Take photos, videos, and notes. If possible, stop the abuse. Say something always. Call 911. You can also call Child Safe at 210-675-9000 or visit txabusehotline.org. You can call them as well at 800-252-5400. And finally, report the abuse in detail. You can find all of this information again on KSAT.com. There is still much more ahead on the Nightbeat, including a little history about the South San neighborhood. It was the latest community we featured in our Know My Neighborhood series. But before we get to that, an important recall notice for certain GM and Chevy vehicles. We'll tell you which vehicles are impacted and what could put drivers at a higher risk of a crash. That's when we come back. A health warning this evening. Whooping cough is on the rise in the U.S., and the CDC says protection from its vaccine is decreasing. So far, there have been over 14,000 reported cases of the disease. That's nearly 5 times higher than the number of cases at the same time last year. The vaccine's effectiveness starts to wear off after 2 to 3 years after getting it. The FDA's vaccine committee met yesterday to discuss whether it might allow a human challenge trial that involves purposely giving people whooping cough to test the effectiveness of a vaccine. A recall from General Motors. The company says there's an issue with the brake fluid warning light in nearly 450,000 vehicles. Those trucks and SUVs impacted might not display a warning when the brake fluid is low. Without a warning light, people might continue to drive their vehicles with low brake fluid. That could reduce braking performance and increase the risk of a crash. The recall covers some 2023 Chevy and GMC pickup trucks and some 2023 and 2024 Chevy, GMC, and Cadillac SUVs. The software that controls the warning light will be updated free of charge. You can also contact your dealership for more information. While that might not be good news for some drivers, this is. Gas prices could continue to drop. AAA says the national average for a gallon of gas dropped a couple of cents last week to $3.21. While still on a decline, it's a much slower decline than in recent weeks. Hurricane Francine caused temporary issues for oil production and the refining on the Gulf Coast. AAA says it isn't uncommon for a slump during hurricane season, but the organization expects prices at the pump to continue to drop. All right, so let's take a look at the averages right now. Again, nationally, we just said $3.21 a gallon. In Texas, the average is $2.78, and here in San Antonio, we're only paying about $2.75. Not so shabby. All right, taking a look outside at live cam. Ooh, you can't tell how humid it is.
I mean, maybe
you can. It's a little bit fuzzy.
Maybe a little hazy out there on the horizon. You could tell earlier today we had some low clouds in place, another sign of added moisture, and that's going to continue into tomorrow, which, by the way, is the first official day of the fall season. The autumnal equinox taking place at 7:44 a.m. This essentially means that Earth's axis is tilted neither toward nor away from the sun, so essentially the sun is directly over the Earth's equator, and for the most part, nearly equal amount of daylight and darkness at all latitudes will be found throughout the day tomorrow. Now, of course, as we get into the fall season and then we approach the winter solstice on December 21st, the amount of daylight hours will continue to get shorter and shorter. Today, for the last official day of the summer season, it certainly felt like it out there, and more of the same is in store tomorrow. A summer-like start to the fall season. 94 degrees. The forecast high temperature here in San Antonio, feeling a few degrees hotter whenever you do factor in the humidity in place. For context, the average high for this time of year is 89. We'll be closer to the low 90s and even potentially some upper 80s later this week as we start to see a slight pattern change when it comes to the upper levels of our atmosphere here at home. So let's go ahead and talk about those changes headed our direction. Right now, this high pressure system, that heat high, still very much in control of our weather pattern, which is why it's been so hot over the past several days. There's an area of low pressure off to our west right now. That's going to work across the central plains and eventually into the Midwest. As we look ahead to our Monday, it looks to drop a weak frontal boundary into central Texas, potentially as it nears the hill country in the southern Edwards Plateau. It could spark up a few showers and storms, looking pretty isolated. Better chances to the northwest of the Alamo City on Monday. But then with that boundary just hanging out Tuesday and into Wednesday, we'll keep a few isolated rain chances in the forecast. But watch what happens throughout the second half of the week. A reinforcing push of some energy and even some drier air looks to work in on the backside of that boundary. It pushes it through our neck of the woods, and we could see some drier air and lower humidity work in ahead of next weekend. That could lead to at least a few more bearable days with that drier air and slightly lower temperatures, potentially even in the mornings as well. But when it comes to those rain chances into next week, peaking on Wednesday about about a 30% chance there, really just a 20% shot by Monday and into Tuesday. We'll keep a 10% chance in the forecast tomorrow afternoon, with more of us than not, unfortunately, missing out. But speaking of tomorrow, here's a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Very similar to what we saw earlier this morning, a warm and muggy start. 76 degrees by 7 a.m. You will notice the humidity when you do step outside. Mostly cloudy skies kick off the day as a result. I think some of that morning cloud cover will start to break out a little bit more by lunchtime. 86 degrees expected for any lunchtime plans around noon. We've got a forecast high temperature pointed around 94. Winds generally sustained out of the southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's a look at high temperatures across the region. Low to mid 90s will be a common theme before we start to see those temperatures come down maybe ever so slightly. Still warmer than average into the second half of the week. Okay, briefly, I do want to touch on the tropics. You've likely seen this on social media over the past couple of days. The Western Caribbean, the Central and Southern Gulf of Mexico still being highlighted now, given a likely chance of some tropical development over the next week or so. What we're going to be monitoring is a disturbance that looks to come together in the Western Caribbean. It looks to make its way into the Central Gulf of Mexico by the second half of this week. But as of right now, that disturbance looks to get picked up by that low pressure system that's going to bring that reinforcing push of drier air into our region, which means this likely tracks well east of the state of Texas. So as of right now, this is of no big concern for us here in San Antonio. Something, of course, we will continue to keep tabs on for you until then. Just monitoring a hot start to fall tomorrow, then maybe some isolated rain chances through the middle of the week. Then slightly more tolerable by Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with some lower humidity working in.
I refuse to believe it's fall or call it fall.
Not when you have temperatures like that. You're right.
Thank you, Mia. Okay, Mary, UTSA walked off the field happy on a Saturday night today.
Yes, I mean, what an entertaining day in college football. UTSA specifically putting forth a complete game against Houston Christian to end non-conference play on a high note. We have college football coming up, plus a District 28 6A bout between Warren and Marshall right after the break. Welcome back. Inside of the Alamo Dome we go for UTSA's first home game since week 1 against Houston Christian, looking to regain their confidence after a demoralizing South Texas road schedule at Texas State and at Texas. Both of UTSA's first quarter drives ended in points. Second quarter, Brandon High Jr. barrels in from 9 yards out for the touchdown. Roadrunners go up 17-0 after a Huskies score. Owen McCown airs one out deep to Willie McCoy. Beautiful pass, and McCoy turns it into a 59-yard touchdown. All 6 of UTSA's touchdowns today were scored by different players. Here's Robert Henry Jr. with a 17-yard TD. And UTSA wins its first ever meeting against HCU 45-7. The Roadrunners finished with 536 yards of offense. McCown was 18 of 25 for 226 yards. High Jr. and Barnes combined for 138 yards rushing and a touchdown apiece. And the Roadrunners improved to 2-2. Here's Nick Mantis with more on UTSA.
Yeah, Mary, this is exactly what UTSA needed after back-to-back losses. A dominant performance that for this team felt like a breath of fresh air.
We have some great players on defense. Like I said, we just had to, realize who we are, look in the mirror and do what we're supposed to do our job. That's the main thing. Has been the main thing from week 1, just doing your job. And I just feel like the coaches have, been pushing that a lot, and the players have took initiative to do our job too.
Yeah, we didn't blink, like I've, said this week, our motto is E+R=O, and these past couple of weeks, our 2 losses, that's our event. That's the E and the R. And the R is the response, and we responded today, and obviously the outcome's the win. So we didn't blink one bit, and glad we got the win.
And the offense was on another level in this one, Mary, setting a new school record today with 35 first downs. From the Alamo Dome, Nick Mantis, back to you, Mary.
Thank you, Nick. Well, today marks 56 years to the day that Archie Manning made his first college start. Now his grandson, Arch Manning, is stepping in to the spotlight. How about that? manning in for an injured Quinn Ewers as #1 Texas hosts Louisiana Monroe. Manning threw 2 touchdowns, going 15 of 29 for 257 yards. Meanwhile, Jaden Blue had 4 touchdowns. The Longhorns win 51-3, and next week they make their SEC debut against Mississippi State. Moving on to Division III ball, the Trinity Tigers looking for their first home win of the season against Washington and Lee. First drive for the Tigers, going heavy with the run game. Legend Grigsby finds some space on the outside for a big chunk of yardage, but Washington and Lee's defense holds Trinity to a field goal. Tyler Huddle splits the uprights from 18 yards out to put the Tigers up 3-0. The Trinity defense forces a 3 now on the Generals' next possession. Jaden Powell and Max Shilstone both getting in on the tackle for loss there. But Washington and Lee would win the quarter after a pick 6 by Christopher Uno. However, it was Trinity's 13-point second quarter that was the difference. Tigers win at 16-10, improving to 2-1. All right, more scores around college football. The 25th ranked Texas A&M Aggies outlasted Bowling Green 26-20, improving to 3-1. Texas Tech spoils Arizona State's Big 12 debut, winning 30-22. Both are 3-1. More Big 12 matchups. A crazy and emotional game in Dallas between TCU and SMU. Mustangs put up 66 points for the win. An instant classic between Baylor and Colorado. Crazy game, and the Buffs win it in OT 38-31. Incarnate Word handles NAU 38-14. UIW is now 2-2. Division III TLU falls 31-10 to McMurray. The Bulldogs' first loss of the season. All right, we've got a heated District 28 6A battle going down at Ferris Stadium between 0-3 Warren and 1-2 Marshall. First quarter, the Marshall Rams will strike first. Donovan Lopez hands it off to senior Jalen Glover, and Glover follows his blocker across the goal line for the early TD. The Warren Warriors would tie it up. Now looking for the lead, Donovan Munoz hits Jamari Jones on the outside, and Jones is gone. It would take overtime to decide this one, and Marshall wins it 31-28. Another BGC score for you. South San tops its district foe, Loretta Figueroa 24-7. All right, we'll hear from CD Lamb and get you ready for the Cowboys and Texans respective Week 3 matchups later in the show. We'll be right back.
All right, want to take you back to our breaking news that we started with tonight. A huge fire at the northwest side apartment complex that we showed you. This is along Vance Jackson Road, not too far from Fredericksburg Road. The video you are looking at, a KSAT viewer sent in to KSAT Connect. You can see this is a drone shot. The entire roof, I mean, it looks like it's caved in, but we don't know yet. But it is covering a massive section of this building. Those flames, huge. We also got our own video of them shooting out of the roof. Our photojournalist Matt Craig has been out there all night. He just spoke to an SAPD officer, not a fire crew with the fire department, but that officer was able to give us some insight into what he is hearing. He said 2 people are unaccounted for right now. Hopefully they were just not in their apartment. They do not know, but firefighters are about to go make sure. They will go inside with their equipment, as they usually do, to make sure no one was caught in that fire. They will also be putting out any small hot spots. The officer was told a lot of people who live there are considered elderly. Again, we are still waiting to hear from the San Antonio Fire Department, so make sure you check in with GMSA tomorrow and on KSAT.com. They will likely have an update by then. Of Know My Neighborhood. It's a series we started about a year ago, and the idea behind it is to give neighbors a voice. No politicians, no elected officials, just people who live in the neighborhood talking about the issues they care about. And in the process, all of us learn about the communities that make San Antonio so unique. So our latest episode was all about the South San neighborhood. This is an area that's full of history, and it actually used to be its own little city separate from San Antonio. And it has incredible ties to the old Kelly Air Force Base. All of that is part of official records, but as Myra Arthur shows us, so much more of the history lies in the memories of the people who know South San the best.
I have lived here 80 years.
Born and raised here in South San.
We're 5 generations here.
What was it like growing up in the South San neighborhood?
Oh, it was easy. It's like, everybody knew me.
Easy, easy, easy. Everybody was friendly.
Everybody went to church on Sunday, drank beer on Monday.
You talked about how this area was kind of like a melting pot when you all grew up.
Yes.
There were a lot of farmers in South San, and most of them were Belgian.
I mean, it was Germans, Polish. Everybody was here, and there was no issues about race or anything like that.
And there was a trolley.
Yes.
At one point, right?
At one point, yeah.
It was just like a little town, and it was a little town because that's what it was called. It was called South San Antonio.
What was the connection between your neighborhood and Kelly Air Force Base?
Okay, Kelly, of course, was a big one.
Oh, my God.
I retired from Kelly.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
What year?
1999, when they shut it down.
Right after World War II started, there was not enough housing for all the Air Force. So they built a tent city. And I never forget going out there, hundreds of tents, just all up and down that hill.
Do you all remember or remember hearing about the plane crash?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
Yeah. What do you remember about it?
I remember everybody was like panicking and trying to run over there. And
this is 51. And the planes, man, they're taking off from Kelly one right after another. And all of a sudden we hear kaboom. God damn, what the hell was that? So we saw this ball of smoke and fire come up over there by the old high school. It came down right there in the middle of the street.
Why did it crash?
Engine failure.
What was it like when Kelly closed?
you just adjusted to it. It closed, and what could you do? A lot of people moved away because they needed to work.
There's a history too, a sad and a bad. I was one of the 12 people that sued the government, that sued Kelly for the contamination of the property. I think it was 2,800 properties. That dirt ended up having chemicals. A lot of people got sick.
What was the outcome?
Well, they gave everybody monies, but it was only like the value of your property at that time. And mine was 1,000. Well, if this happened in the north side, they would have been on it right away.
So it does seem like there is such a multi-generational tie in this neighborhood. Mm-hmm. I mean, families seem to stay here. Mm-hmm. Would you say that's right?
I would say so.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Once a South Sider, always a South Sider.
That was Myra Arthur reporting, and that was just one of many stories that made up our Know My Neighborhood South San episode. If you scan that QR code right there on your screen, it'll take you directly to our webpage with the full show on it. You can also check out previous neighborhoods we've featured. And that's not all. We also want to hear from you. You can submit your neighborhood to be featured on KSAT. Just fill out the form online. Next month, we'll be featuring the Thompson neighborhood on the southwest side. We'll be right back. All right, here's some wild video here in the San Antonio area. You might have seen this one online. A rogue bull in the front yard of a newly built home in St. Hedwig. The night team Zaria Oates went to this neighborhood to find out how these people feel about their new neighbor.
Caught on camera, this bull made a middle of the night appearance in several St. Hedwig front yards.
As soon as I pull it up, I'm like, babe, there's a cow in the front yard.
The unexpected visitor turned out to be a Brahma bull. Gentry moved into her quiet St. Hedwig home in June, around the same time as many of her neighbors.
Jerome, did you see? And she's like, we had a visitor. He ate my plants.
And when I came back and looked, because I saw a few leaves on the ground, but when I seen the whole thing had been chomped up, I was like, oh, who's got beef?
The jokes are never ending when livestock comes right to your front porch, but it's a problem people in St. Hedwig say didn't start until multiple new housing developments popped up. Many of these St. Hedwig neighborhoods weren't built until after the pandemic.
This was their land, they built on all of this farmer land. So, they came from somewhere. I feel like we took their area.
The bull also prompted a question about insurance that none of them thought about before.
how would I explain it to if I had to go to like State Farm and I'm like, guys, a bull busted through my house, and all I had was like fire warranty.
Neighbors say they aren't too worried about the bull's appearance, but they do hope ranchers are able to keep their animals close by, saying it's a price they're willing to pay for the peace that comes with living in the area.
Take a cow eating up my grass over like random city dangers.
Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
All right, and here's an important note. Zaria actually spoke to the owner of that Brahma bull today, who said the bull is still on the loose. So if you spot him, please let us know.
Hopefully he is returned back to the correct pasture.
He's having a ball.
He is having a ball.
Bull of a ball.
Going on a little exploration around the neighborhood. Even I guess bulls like changes of scenery too. Why not?
God.
Speaking of a change of scenery, a look outside with live cam on this Saturday night. It was a hot and humid start to the weekend. 96 degrees was our official high temperature here in San Antonio. That is well above the average of 89 and just 4 degrees shy of the record of 100 that was set back in 1909. By the way, you can see because of all of the humidity, take a look at our morning temperature. We only got down to 78. That is 10 degrees above the average for this time of year. A look at high temperatures across the region from earlier today. 98 out east in Gonzales, Pleasanton as well. It was 91 in Kerrville, so a little bit quote unquote cooler up into the hill country. 91 in Rock Springs, also 97 out west in Del Rio. Now, right now, thanks to clearing skies, we've started to see those temperatures fall into the low 80s for most. Still holding on to the upper 80s, though, over there in southern Valverde County. I think we reach for the upper 70s to kickstart the day tomorrow. Then another hot start to the official fall season expected tomorrow afternoon. We'll have another full check at that forecast coming up in just a few.
All right, so if you haven't looked at our social media pages, we are in watermelon theme because it is the last day of summer.
It's the last day of summer, and correct. Stepping outside tomorrow, it may officially be fall, but it's not going to feel like it.
No.
So we thought that we would commemorate with our watermelon colors. Mary also came in earlier, was like, oh, Cosmo and Wanda from the Fairly Odd Parents. I was like, we could have gone with that too. Either way, very fun. We may need to be a little more on the autumn color palette tomorrow. Take a look at this though. I thought this was actually kind of fun. Our countdown, fall begins tomorrow, one day away. Halloween, just 40 days away. Spooky season very, very close. The time change, of course, November 3rd this year. 43 days away, 45 from Election Day. Christmas now under 100 days away. So now that we are getting into the fall season with the autumnal equinox kicking off at 7:44 a.m. tomorrow, hopefully, looking ahead to at least the start of October, we can start to see some more notable fronts work their way through. But for now, and especially for the back half of the weekend, it is still going to be hot and it is still going to be humid. So if you missed it, here's a look at that KSAT 12-hour forecast, planning out your day, stepping out tomorrow morning for any breakfast plans with the family, church services. You're going to notice that mugginess. 76 degrees around 7 a.m. with mostly cloudy skies. Turning partly cloudy, though, for any lunchtime plans. We'll be climbing into the upper 80s around 1 p.m. into the early afternoon, and with a few more peaks of sunshine, we've got that high temperature pointed in the mid 90s, feeling like the upper 90s in a few locations just because of that moisture in place. It'll be 93 out east in Gonzales tomorrow, 96 off to our southwest in Cotulla, potentially up into the hill country and southern Edwards Plateau. We can keep those temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s, but we are not the only area that's dealing with 90s. Take a look across the deep south tomorrow, 93 in Jackson, Mississippi, even 93 in Nashville as well. But across the Central Plains and even the Rockies, it is a much different story where high temperatures could top off in the 60s behind a low pressure system and its associated frontal boundary. As that front starts to work its way into parts of the Lone Star State, Oklahoma, and even Missouri, there is a very low low chance for a few isolated severe storms near Tulsa, Oklahoma City, even San Angelo. As we take a look at the big picture, that front's going to start advancing farther off to the east, potentially some of those storms along the I-20 corridor by 2 p.m. tomorrow. Just to the east of Lubbock, not expecting anything like that here in south central Texas. Just a 10% chance for an isolated shower in the forecast tomorrow afternoon. Watch what happens though overnight Sunday and into the early morning hours of our Monday. As that front nears the hill country in southern Edwards Plateau, it's possible we see a few isolated showers and storms develop as we sleep, especially near Rock Springs as well as Del Rio. A lot of that starts to fizzle, doesn't quite make it to the San Antonio area by Monday morning. Still, we'll keep a 20% chance in the forecast for a few isolated showers on Monday as that frontal boundary then stalls, potentially sparking up a few more isolated rain chances by Tuesday, peaking on Wednesday at a 30% potential. Then we see a reinforcing push of drier air work in by Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So that could make it feel a bit more comfortable out there, bring back some sunshine, high temperatures closer to 90 degrees, and maybe even a few slightly cooler and slightly more refreshing mornings with lows potentially dipping into the upper 60s. Still some time to fine tune those details, but something to check back in on in the days ahead.
All right, thanks so much. Mary, with the weekend the Cowboys had last week, there's a lot of eyes on them tomorrow.
Yes, a frustrating week last week, and yes, tomorrow Dallas hosts the Ravens, and there was a players-only meeting held this week. CeeDee Lamb will tell us what was said after that tough loss. Plus, Joe Mixon is not with the Texans in Minnesota, who will need to step up after the break. When the Dallas Cowboys and Baltimore Ravens kick off tomorrow at 3:25, both teams will be set out to avenge poor Week 2 performances. The Cowboys were blown out at home by the Saints. Baltimore fell to the Raiders, and the Ravens are a surprising 0-2 to start the season. Now, Dallas is expecting both former first-round pick Mozzie Smith and tight end Jake Ferguson to play in tomorrow's game. This week, the Cowboys held a players-only meeting, and here's what CeeDee Lamb has to say on what was said.
Man, we got to get back to square one. Getting back on the same team, obviously, getting the chemistry back up and getting an understanding of each other. Because we know that wasn't really not really the best. That was not nearly the best performance that we could have ever put out together as a unit. And we know that it's all about taking accountability, see where the holes are, fill them up, and then move on.
Well, the Texans starting running back Joe Mixon will not be traveling with the team to Minnesota because of an ankle injury. Mixon was injured early in the third quarter of the Texans' Week 2 win over Chicago. He returned for a few plays after the injury, but he wouldn't practice all week. With backup Dameon Pierce also injured, third stringer Cam Akers is set to start at running back for the Texans. Houston and Minnesota kick off at noon, and there's a lot of familiarity between both of the undefeated teams, so it should be a good one. UTSA rolled past Houston Christian this afternoon inside of the Alamo Dome. QB Owen McCown threw 3 touchdown passes on 18 of 25 passing for 226 yards. Brandon Hyde Jr. and Kavorian Barnes combined for 138 yards rushing and a touchdown apiece for UTSA, which has won 13 of its last 14 home games. UTSA outgained the Huskies 536 to 177, and the final was 45-7. UTSA is now 2-2. Well, in Major League Baseball, Texas falls 8-4 to Seattle. The Mariners are 5 games back of the AL West leading Astros, who won tonight 10-4 over the Angels. The AL West right now is quite the race. Exciting times in baseball.
Thank you so much, Mary. We'll be right back. All right, like Mia mentioned, tomorrow's the first day of fall, but who are we kidding? It's definitely not going to feel like that in Texas. So instead of celebrating that, let's celebrate National Ice Cream Cone Day tomorrow. According to nationaldaycalendar.com, ice cream cones were first mentioned in French cookbooks around 1825. They became popular in the U.S. in the late 1800s and debuted at the World's Fair in 1904.
It could be 32 degrees and I'd still never pass up ice cream.
Eat your ice cream tomorrow. Have a good night.